Tariq is gonna find out more and more that when Ghost said, keep thinking you're smarter than me, son, when he had a gun to his face, don't ever make that mistake again. We're gonna find out that Ghost meant what he said. And he's a living, and yes I mean living, testament, man. I am one of the firm believers that Ghost is alive. We ain't gonna talk about Omari ain't never coming back because he ain't get the bag. Y'all stupid. Literally stupid if you don't think Stars gave that man the bag already. Y'all know that they would have to do it, man. Because the whole entire Power Universe benefits from it, right? Ghost making an appearance in one scene after he's presumed dead will create enough material, enough theories online for the next 10 years. It will create potentially enough narrative tools and enough plot lines for all future Power spinoffs, including ones that we haven't even seen yet because it hasn't even been created and fully developed yet. I believe Ghost is alive, and I think we're gonna find out that Tariq made several mistakes when it came to what he assumed is him killing Ghost, all right? I think that they have not shown us one episode that we were supposed to see from OG Power, and that is Ghost's point of view, okay? We seen Paz, Dre, Tasha, Tommy's, Sax's, right? We never seen Ghost. And if you are aware of those final episodes, you know that there are slightly different expressions between Ghost and whichever individual's point of view it is. One point of view may see Ghost act a little bit more arrogant, a little bit more aggressive, right, than what actually may have happened, okay? There are many different nuances, many different changes, okay? So I'm here to debate that Tariq made mistakes and he only thinks he killed his father, Ghost. He only thinks he did it from his point of view. And I want to argue, okay, that for one, like I mentioned, Ghost had a bulletproof vest on. And for two, we are assuming from Tariq's point of view that he killed Ghost, shot Ghost in the heart, and there's no way Ghost could still be alive. But here's the thing. For one, he had a bulletproof vest. And for two, this is Tariq's second shooting ever. His second shooting ever. His second alleged murder ever. And we know the grave mistake he made with his first murder, where he leaves evidence and he expected Daddy to come save him and got mad because Daddy wouldn't save him, right? Right? Some people feel like Tariq is justified and feeling like Ghost wasn't there for him. I happen to feel like Tariq was acting like a little bitch, okay? Just because your father wants to be with the woman he really loved, you decide to go in the streets and get your sister killed? My mistake? Come on now. But like I said, if Tariq made mistakes his first body, how can we assume he didn't make any mistakes his second body? From his point of view, he shot his father in the heart and put him down permanently, right? And that's because he thinks he outsmarted his father and caught him slipping. But this is Ghost who we're talking about. Ghost been in way more situations where he was forced to think at an even higher level than it would take to orchestrate his own death. As if he wouldn't see Tariq little ass coming. Okay? Tariq thinks he shot Ghost in the heart and put him down. But Tariq was not an experienced shooter, and he's still not an experienced shooter. He's a more experienced shooter than he was when he shot Ghost, but he's still not certified. He's still not certified yet. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, right? What's not to say that instead of shooting him in the heart, he made a mistake by aiming a little bit higher and just shot Ghost in the upper chest. What's not to say? And then even if he did succeed in shooting him in the heart area, Ghost still would have had a bulletproof vest on, because he already knew that it was very much possible for him to have his life taken away from him in his own club due to what Pink Slippers did to Holly in season 1. So we cannot rule out the possibility that he had a bulletproof vest on. And being that we have not seen Ghost's official point of view from that night, right? From that day beginning to end, or what he was doing, right? Off screen from all the stuff going on. The real conversation he had with Ramona, right? There is an archived episode, I believe, where we gonna see Ghost put on that vest. Ghost have that specific conversation with Ramona and the attorney and say, yo, this could happen. If this happens, let's do this. If that happens, let's do that. I'm willing to argue that Tariq thinks he shot Ghost in the heart, but he might have shot a little bit lower, a little bit higher. And being that Ghost assumingly had a bulletproof vest on, he survived. And Ghost purposely left the exits left all the exits and entrances to his club open on purpose. He had to have done that. Ghost didn't make it to be who he was by allowing himself to slip that way. This is the same man who killed Breeze. You're telling me that the same man who killed Breeze would just mistakenly forget to close all the entrances and exits to his club? He wanted somebody to come and kill him. He wanted somebody to come and try to kill him at that exact spot so he could fall in an exact area that's close enough to his ambulance so he could be taken away and given care. Mind you, there was no open casket, right? If James St. Patrick really was going to leave and never come back, they would have just shown his dead face in the closed casket, man. There wouldn't be no playing around. They would just let us know he'd be dead so we could just stop talking about it. Does the reason why Kate Egan was not at Ghost's funeral have anything to do with the fact that James Ghost St. Patrick is really alive? And together, they came up with a foolproof plan to watch over Tommy Egan as he faces new challenges in Chicago and eventually California. This here may be the biggest piece of evidence that proves the Ghost Man is alive and well, making love to Ramona in a secret location right now as we speak. Now, the idea for this theory comes from DeMarcus, a frequent viewer and supporter of my channel. And I figured out how this all makes sense, because just ask yourselves, since Kate Egan raised Ghost as her own son and said so herself, what reason would she have to just miss her own deceased son's funeral? It seems like Kate Egan may be the only one who knows the truth about Ghost. Now, this video is going to be another banger. Go ahead, like this video and subscribe to this channel so y'all get this fire every day, because this is where you will get the wildest, most creative, and entertaining power theories on the World Wide Web. We think out the box around here. Also, if you're a power fan or power theory content creator, I'm looking to collaborate with some of you in future videos. I'd also love to get you guys on the weekly lives I will be doing after season 4 airs, where we can recap the episodes together and talk everything power. If you want to be a part of that, email me at n.almighty1991@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at Nate_Almighty_GDA. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. All right now, people, as always, let's break it down like this. First off, we all know Egan screamed on Tommy and blamed Tommy for the death of Ghost. A huge reason why Tommy resents her even to this day. We already know this. But we do not know what happened with Kate from the moment she accused Tommy of killing Ghost until the time she met Tommy in Chicago. But throughout the first 2 seasons of Force, she hasn't mentioned Ghost at all to Tommy. And if I'm mistaken, let me know when she did in the exact episode and time in the comment section. Is that not strange already to anyone else? And not only that, Ghost was like her son. So why was it so easy for her to be around Tommy so soon after she accused him of murdering her other son, who she literally raised besides Tommy Egan? We're talking about months in between her accusing Tommy of killing Ghost to where she's the same old Kate Egan talking to Tommy in Chicago. Not even a year went past before Kate reunited with Tommy, acting like the same old Kate Egan. Almost as if Ghost never really died. Getting It How I Live spoke on the possibility that Ghost may have put a tracking device on Tommy's blue Mustang. Why? So he can keep track of Tommy, of course. But what if Ghost also instructed Kate Egan to now follow Tommy to Chicago and keep an eye on him? This is even more plausible if Ghost actually did not place a tracking device on Tommy and needed a way to keep tabs on him. And the opportunity to get to know JP and D-Mac would just be icing on the cake for her. Now, with that being said, I can only see one reasonable argument as to why Kate wasn't at the funeral, if an alive Ghost has nothing to do with it. That reason being, she got the money from Ghost after Ghost died from the trust fund, so she was out getting high and drunk and missed the funeral. Now, although very plausible, she was still a mother figure to Ghost. What mother finds an excuse to not go to her own son's funeral? And had she just been getting drunk and high and forgot or missed the funeral, the writers would have easily inserted that in her dialogue, and she would have been said that, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. There would be nothing to speculate. If anything, she would have just went to the funeral while intoxicated and just embarrassed herself while there. So, with season 3 coming of Force on the 10-year anniversary of OG Power, there is a possibility Tommy finds out his brother Ghost was already watching him, and with the help of Kate Egan. And while she was absent from the funeral, she may have been spending that time connecting with Ghost, probably with him assuring her that he's okay and that Tommy did not shoot or kill him. And they would have been discussing whatever plans Ghost has in the future. That includes her and Tommy Egan. Now, someone also said in the comment section, my bad bro for not remembering your name as I'm doing this video, about how earlier on, Kate Egan got some information and said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, right? She said something along the lines of, I can't wait to tell my son, my other son about this. Could that be even more evidence that Ghost is in fact alive? This one is gonna be a doozy, y'all. Now, what if I told you guys that there's one person we all overlooked out of all the people who we assume helped Ghost fake his own death? And that person was Tariq St. Patrick himself. Now, over the past few months, I've seen more than one person suggest this theory in the comments. So what I'm going to do today is show those fans some love who support this theory and explain every way that this theory is plausible. And I'm also going to play devil's advocate and explain why this theory is not plausible for all the people who are against it. And at the end of the video, I'll let you guys know if I think that theory is believable or not. And we need to talk about this right now. This video was going to be another banger, so go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel so y'all can get this fire every day, because this is where you will get the wildest, most creative and entertaining power theories on the World Wide Web. Also, if you're a power fan or power theory content creator, I have ideas for collaboration videos. I'd also love to get both creators and regular fans on the weekly lives that I'll be doing 3 times a week, where we can recap the episodes together and talk everything power. And I'll also be doing reviews and breakdowns of other shows and movies as well. Now, if you want to be a part of that, email me at n.almighty1991@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at Nate_Almighty_GDA. Now, without further ado, let's get to it, y'all. Let's break it down like this. Now, Tariq helped Ghost fake his death. Let's get to the bottom of it. Before we talk about why it's not possible, let's talk about what makes it possible. And there are arguably 2 definitive reasons why it's possible that Tariq and Ghost pulled off this plan together. And the first reason is because this show is a fictional piece of media, and anything is possible, especially when it comes to Ghost. We all have learned to expect the unexpected when it comes to James St. Patrick.
If you want your skin to be this clean after one product, keep watching. Hero Cosmetics came out with their Dissolve Away.
Comes to James St. Patrick. The second and most logical reason is that Ghost knew the feds would come to either him or Tariq about running a criminal enterprise and for the murder of Ray Ray. And since they both had the same DNA, Ghost decided to go into hiding. That way he could start a new life and be done with the game. And he would get to see Tariq have another chance to actually be something in life. Even if they blame the death of Ray Ray on himself, who would be presumed dead by that time. A flawed plotline, but one that still makes enough sense when you really think about it. It would have still gave Ghost the option to be free of the game he wanted to escape from, but never could find a way out. And at the same time, he would be able to see his son go to school and hopefully make something of himself. And now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the 3 reasons why, and maybe even more reasons why, it's not possible that Ghost and Tariq fake Ghost's death together. Number 1, Tariq had PTSD after shooting Ghost. If Tariq was a willing participant in helping his father fake his own death, there's no way he would have had the PTSD and anxiety that often comes with experiencing real violence up close and personal, or even how he feels when people bring up his father, the anxiety and stuff that he gets. He would be a teenager struggling to appear believable when explaining to people like Tasha and Effie about killing his own father. Even if Ghost would have had this idea in mind, he would know that this is a task way above Tariq's pay grade, and he would not be able to pull it off. Also, if he would have helped Ghost fake his death, he would not have worried at all when he got arrested for Ghost's murder, because he would know there was no way they could prove he killed his father Ghost, because Ghost isn't even dead in the first place. Reason number 2, Tariq moves around as if he really killed his father. All of Tariq's movements, the way his character evolved, the coldness that grew in his heart, the way he responds to his grandmother earlier in the series when she asks him what happened to his father. We remember that scene. She was like, "And your father? What happened to your father, Tariq?" Remember that? As if she already knew that Tariq killed his own father, and she isn't surprised that he did it. All of this reflects a young man who actually believes he put his father 6 feet deep in the ground. The arrogance that he has currently comes from him believing he is that dude because of the fact that he outsmarted and killed the great, the almost invincible James St. Patrick, aka Ghost. The man who was at the top of the game before Tariq took his life. Reason number 3, there is no logical reason why Ghost would involve Tariq in any plan he would have to fake his own death. For the simple reason that Ghost would not give Tariq that much control over his own life. Period. He would want to be alive as James St. Patrick while overseeing Tariq's life, or he would want to fake his own death and watch Tariq from the shadows and influence his life in that way, which is what appears he's doing right now as we speak. And I'm going to add one more reason, which is reason number 4, which is the whole Uncle Gabe and Tariq conversation in episode 1 of Power Book 2 Ghosts. That whole conversation would not have needed to have happened if Tariq and Ghost set up Ghost's death together. There's no reason for Uncle Gabe to be there and say, "I know you're going to make your father proud. I see a lot of you in him." Blase blah, blase blah, blase blah. And my opinion of it all is that I don't believe this theory has any legs. But it was a real fun theory to talk about and, just something to get my mind going. This video is for everyone who feels like Ghost is still alive. I want to talk about yet another clue or another assumption as to why James Ghost St. Patrick is still alive, and he planned from the very beginning to fake his own death. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, y'all, so check this out, man. We all know who James Ghost St. Patrick is. We know what he's done. We know what he's capable of, okay? We know what this man done in season 1 that had us locked in with him and let us understand how diabolical this man's mind is, okay? We seen him take it upon himself to create this huge scheme to kill everyone and move everyone off the chessboard who may be a weakness to him, who may be a potential rat, who may be a potential enemy. We've seen him do this. So the question is this: if we want to believe that Ghost is still alive, then wouldn't it make sense that he had on a bulletproof vest the day Tariq shot him? Wouldn't it make sense that he had a bulletproof vest on? And if he had a bulletproof vest on, wouldn't that mean that Ghost is still alive? Simply by the fact that he had a bulletproof vest on. Now, let's dive deeper into this, okay? Let's dive deeper, okay? We know, or most of us assume, but a lot of us know, Ghost orchestrated every single chain of events that led to him being shot. It appears that he personally or purposely ticked Tasha off. He purposely baited Cooper Saxe. He purposely baited Rashad Tate. And he probably seen the showdown between him and Tariq was inevitable. And that Tariq would be one of the people that came for him. He also, in a way, baited Dre, right? He wanted somebody to come and make an attempt on his life, right? Because why would he not have every single exit and entrance to his club be locked at a certain time? Why would he just be standing on this balcony, this elevated area specifically, as if he wanted to be seen? Why would he do this? If you believe that Ghost orchestrated and faked his own death, if you believe that he purposely, right, baited all previously mentioned parties involved to make an attempt on his life at this specific time, if you're one of the people who believe that ahead of time Ghost was inspired by Tommy's ambulance situation, and if you believe that when Tariq was leaving the club and there was an ambulance driving past him, if you're one of the people who believe that that was Ghost in the ambulance going past Tariq, then you also have to believe by default that Ghost had a bulletproof vest on. You have to. Because why would he not have a bulletproof vest on? Why would he not? We all are aware that Ghost was almost killed in season 1 by pink sneakers in the very same place that he ends up ultimately being shot in at the end of season 6. Ghost is highly intelligent, highly preventative, and in most situations, he sees things coming. He is the kind of person, right, who can predict people's actions, okay? His mind is similar to the mind of someone like John Kramer from the Jigsaw, from the Saw franchise, all right? A lot of his success comes off of predicting the actions that people will take. And if he already knew 5-6 seasons previously, right, that it's possible for people to sneak guns into his club and kill him, after Holly got shot right in front of him in his own club, you gotta believe that he wore bulletproof vests in his club after that. Probably a multitude of times. He had to have been wearing a bulletproof vest. And it's that bulletproof vest that kept him alive. Another thing too, right? People may talk about blood. People may say he lost too much blood to be alive, okay? Ghost got shot directly in the heart. But here's the thing, right? Now, I'm going to go into Tariq and Tariq's role in this and the mistakes that Tariq made, which guarantees that Ghost is alive, in another video that's probably going to come out today, if not tomorrow. But if we're just talking about everyone's different perspectives, and we're talking about everyone's different point of views and the amount of blood that was shown, if you remember, and if you paid attention, you will know that based off of Tasha's perspective, Ghost's perspective, which we did not see, and chances are they shot that perspective. But they only shown us, Tariq, Paz, and everyone else's perspective. But if you pay attention to Tommy, Tariq, Tasha, the amount of blood that James Ghost St. Patrick had leaking out of his body, it differs. It varies. So the question is, can we trust that Ghost lost the same amount of blood that their point of view shows? Can we trust that? Even if Ghost bled out of his mouth, that doesn't mean he died. it means he suffered some internal bleeding. But he also had access to an ambulance in that same building. Could it be that he purposely set it up for whoever would be his potential shooter to shoot him in that exact area, for him to fall in an area that was as close as possible to the ambulance? Let's talk about the 6 people who know Ghost is still alive and may or may not have had a hand in helping Ghost stay out of the way and hide in plain sight. The first person I want to talk about, Stephen Ott. Stephen Ott of the Democratic Party. If Ghost is hidden away somewhere, Stephen Ott definitely knows. We haven't seen him much. We didn't really see him at all last season. But he knows something. This is somebody who is one of the most powerful men within the power universe. Right? He's one of the most powerful men who Ghost was around. Someone with real connections. We've seen the power Stephen Ott has. When he pulls up and he tells people, hey, listen, I represent the Democratic Party. Shut up. You can't say this anymore. Y'all can't do this anymore. You see what happens. You see what happens when he had Sachs Boss fired or reinstated somewhere else. The bald dude at the end of the series. He get people removed and it happens swiftly. And he don't say he gonna do it more than once. He give you one warning. He tells you what to do. You don't cooperate. He getting you out of there. And if everyone wants to attach themselves to this whole Ghost is still alive and he's hiding and he's watching Tariq, I believe this is one of the first people he would go to. Where he's like, yo, listen, I gotta do this. If I get killed or this happens this way, I'll be exposed in this way. It'll make the Democratic Party look bad. So I'm gonna need y'all to help me cover this up. And in exchange, I'll help y'all with this, that, whatever, right? So that's Stephen Ott. Number 2, Ramona. If Ghost is alive and they have him hiding and he's gonna come back, you better believe Ramona knows exactly what's going on with Ghost. And if Ghost is in Cuba, like people say Tupac is right now, or wherever he may be, Ramona is with him. They're probably married. Ghost probably has a brand new name. She knows exactly where he is and they're together. We know at the end of OG Power, Councilman Tate violated Ramona. We never seen Ramona ever since. I also am going to do a video explaining how I feel like Ramona is going to pop up as soon as Councilman Tate gets into a real powerful position. He think everything's sweet. He think he the man. He think he beat everybody. And I think Ramona is going to come and destroy him. Somehow, some way. She going to have some old information or something. Or if Ghost's still alive, he's going to help her somehow, some way, right? It's going to happen, right? You got to watch out for that. But number 3, on this list of 6 people who know Ghost is still alive and may or may not have helped him hide in plain sight, we got Uncle Gabe, all right? Now, maybe when they were making OG Power towards the end, maybe there's extra scenes with Uncle Gabe and Ghost having conversations that they just didn't add. Maybe they'll show it later in Ghost, right? Season 4 or 5 or whatever. But there's a lot we don't know about Uncle Gabe. But what we do know is that Ghost went to Uncle Gabe. He bought the building. He looked like he was about to have a long conversation with Uncle Gabe. That conversation was never seen on screen. Next thing you know, Tariq shoots Ghost. that first episode of Ghost Season 1, we got Uncle Gabe talking to Tariq as if he knows way more about Tariq than he should know. And Tasha don't know him. So if he does know way more, then that means Ghost told him. It's very much possible that Ghost seen Tariq coming and he told Uncle Gabe, yo, my son is possibly coming for me. I'm gonna need you to help me do this, that. Help me do this, that. Very, very possible. What do y'all think? The plot thickens, right? But either way, I think within Power Book 2 Ghost, we have not seen or heard the last of Uncle Gabe. Like I said, today and over the last week or two, I've been feeling like Uncle Gabe possibly had Ghost's father murdered, and Ghost might not even know. And Tariq might find out. Right? But moving on to the fourth person of people who know Ghost is still alive and may or may not be helping him hide in plain sight. We got Simon Stern. Now here's the thing, right? When you eliminate Ramona from the situation, I feel like Simon Stern is probably closer to Ghost than anyone else on this list. It's very possible, right? Simon Stern, yes, he's been a little racist. Not too racist. More like ignorantly racist because he's a rich white man and he can't identify with where some black people come from and their struggles. But once Ghost started one-upping him, I think he grew a healthy, competitive respect for Ghost. And he wanted to mentor Ghost. And I think he has a high level of respect for Ghost. And he expects Tariq to be just as great as Ghost and smart and resourceful over time. That's why he put his reputation on the line. Right? He put himself on the line to help Tariq get into school. Right? But why would he be going this hard? For Tasha? Just for the building? For all we know, Ghost could have said, hey, Simon Stern, help me. You gonna get the truth building, but I'm gonna also do some other stuff for you. I could also work as a consultant or advisor with business plans and stuff like that, because Simon Stern did respect Ghost as a businessman and he wanted Ghost to work for him. So if anybody knows Ghost is still alive, 9 times out of 10, Simon Stern knows. Plus, Simon Stern, the school that Tariq is in, is a representation of Simon Stern. Simon Stern will be having easy access to the school to get whatever information on Tariq, grades, whatever that he would need to give to Ghost. So it's a very high possibility that if no one else on this list knows that Ghost is still alive and hiding, it would be Simon Stern. And as we get to the last two people, right? One of them is a wild card, and another one to be a close to Simon Stern type of situation, but Ghost benefits from this person in a different kind of way. This is not a resourceful, rich kind of way. And that's Daniel Warren. From the moment Ghost started dropping off these funny letters, acting like he's seen Tariq moves coming way before he made those moves, I immediately started questioning, maybe Ghost is alive, just like everyone else. Now, all I need to do is see one more letter get dropped off from Daniel Warren to Tariq, trying to stop Tariq from currently doing something and allegedly Ghost seeing it coming before he died, and I'm gonna 100% believe that Ghost is alive. Right now, I'm 50-50 with it. You know, I don't necessarily want Ghost to come back because it'll be like a fairy tale. Now, if he come back in a hallucination and he curse Tariq out, slap him up, and then help him save his own life, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want Ghost to really come back. But if he never died, and he was rushed to the hospital, and he received treatment and care before he was able to die, Daniel Warren would know. Because Daniel Warren is somebody who is connected to the wealth that Ghost left for his children and his loved ones, right? Which, by the way, Tasha got absolutely nothing. Right? But listen, the last person who will know Ghost is still alive, this is a wild card. This is 100% theory territory, right? But RSJ. But this is only a possibility and a theory because RSJ clearly knows more about Ghost than he's letting on. He has some kind of admiration for Ghost, but this is somebody who we never seen in OG Power. But this is also somebody who comes from the same streets that Ghost comes from, maybe even the same neighborhood. We do not know. For all we know, RSJ was in Ghost's back pocket 10 years ago. For all we know. Now, this is a wild card. RSJ is the most far-fetched, but it's still very, very possible. And with that being said, these were the 6 people who know Ghost is still alive and maybe hiding in plain sight. Am I missing anybody? Was this a reach? Y'all let me know in the comment section. We all know that this is the 10th year anniversary of the first season of OG Power. And with that being said, we're absolutely going to come across some new reveals, some big reveals, and I believe this will be the season that Tariq St. Patrick begins to question whether his father is alive or did he truly die. And today's topic has everything to do with Kanan and how Kanan died. What we want to know is, why was, you know what? Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, y'all. Let's talk about how Ghost is still alive, okay? And this is how we got to do it. Let's break it down like this. First, let's understand what power does and how power reveals things like deaths to us, okay? Am I right or wrong to say that every time someone dies in power, we see them take their last breath? There is no, they're on the verge of dying, and then the scene cuts away to show you some other stuff like they did when Ghost got shot, right? Am I right or wrong to say that when people die in power, we see them take their last breath and their bodies are often recovered and identified by the family member? I'm definitely correct by saying that. So we're going to disregard anyone who would find a reason to say Ghost is dead because they didn't show the identification of Zeke's body by Monet. I would then say, have a seat and shut your mouth, because we all know, or you should remember, that season 3 of Ghost, the first episode was about 2-3 months after what would have been Zeke's funeral. They didn't show us 2 funerals because they ended up showing us Lorenzo's funeral in the middle of the season. So that disregards that argument. However, when it comes to the case of Kanan Stark, we seen Kanan take his last breath after getting into a shootout with the police and crashing the car. And then in the very next episode, we seen Kanan's body be identified by both Ghost and Tommy at the morgue. So if we seen Ghost and Tommy identify Kanan's body, y'all tell me, why the hell was Ghost's body not identified? Why was Ghost's body not identified? Why did they not give us a scene of Tariq and Tasha, or just Tariq, or just Tasha, in the same morgue or in some kind of morgue looking at Ghost's dead body and identifying him? Is it because the excuse would be technically him and Tasha weren't married anymore? Did that divorce really go through? Right? Excluding Tasha from being the person to be able to identify that body? I don't think it works that way, man. I think if she still was his wife and he had no one else who was eligible to come in, they would have had Tasha do it. Tariq was at least 18 years old, I believe. I think. Why wasn't Tariq or Tasha or Tariq and Tasha there to identify the body? Why did we not see Ghost's dead body, y'all? I'll tell you why. It's because Ghost is still alive. And not only that, it's because the creators of Power and the Starz Network clearly had plans on continuing Ghost and Tariq's story in the future beyond this point. In the future beyond this point. Had to be, people. Had to be. That had to be the reason. And yes, we could bring up the money situation. Yes. But even though there was a money discrepancy, this adds even more proof that Ghost is alive because they didn't show him actually die, meaning that they planned on giving him his bag at some point. They just ain't have it at the time. How it goes with, companies and publicly traded companies, and there's a protocol that has to be had, right? There's years that you gotta wait until you re-up contracts that the company then gets more money, and then they then give more money to their actors that they want to retain. What would be better than making everyone think Ghost is dead and then purposely not having the and loving memory of Ghost posts that we were accustomed to having with Deaths in Power? What would be better marketing than for us to all think that because of money he's never coming back, while at the same time not letting us see him take his last breath? What would be better marketing? They clearly had plans to bring him back, and I dare say they gave him the bag already. Otherwise, we would have seen Tasha and Tariq identifying his dead body in the morgue. That should be enough to end the argument for anyone who believes that Ghost is really dead and he's not coming back. One, the money, okay? Two, right? The fact that it seems like he led Tariq on. The fact that it seems like he orchestrated all of these plans. And then let's talk about Ramona, right? Ghost is definitely alive because what other reason is there for Ramona to not be at Ghost's funeral paying her respect? Why did we not have a scene where Ramona, and then mind you, they didn't speak about it too much, if not at all. They didn't let us know what was going on with Ramona. Ramona didn't die. Ramona didn't go to jail. But why are we not speaking about Ramona? Then the fact that we have the closed casket, and then they didn't even mention anything about it being a closed casket. Ghost's head didn't get cut off. He didn't get shot up in the face. Why was there no mention of the morgue? No scene at the morgue? Why do we not see Ghost's dead face? If Ghost and Omari Hardwick were never meant to come back, then they would have just shot the scene. And Ghost's face would have been shown in the casket dead, because they would have filmed that scene before the first season of Ghost started. Because they would have shown that in the first episode, right? Just so we know for sure that Ghost is gone. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Where's Ramona? Ghost has to still be alive. Otherwise, they would have shown us Ramona at the funeral talking to Tariq. Instead, we got bunk ass Uncle Gabe, who people saying is Marvin. No, he's not. But we got Uncle Gabe, who's probably in cahoots with Ghost as we speak. Then you got the Democratic Party, right? We may find out that the Democratic Party, right, made it an order so nobody got too close to James' casket. We may find that out later. Now, what you see here is a picture with a very specific thing circled. And what you're looking at is another picture with a very specific thing circled. By the way, at the top of this picture, this is PT. This is the guy whose channel that I got this from. I watch every single person who makes power content, okay? I gotta see what my ops / competition / friendly competition, I gotta see what everyone's talking about. It inspires me to make other content. It forces me to think in ways that I don't think. And also, I'm somebody who did not catch the Power Choice Awards. So when we're looking at these two pictures that you will have seen just now on the screen, right? By the way, subscribe to the guy PT. My channel is bigger than his. I want him to get all the recognition, right? And all the attention that he deserves for this, because he's a clever dude who I've been following for a couple months, right? But how come, and like I said, I missed the Power Choice Awards. So this was brand new news to me, or I would have called this out because I would have noticed this, right? How come they got Tommy kills Angela, but then in another picture they got Tariq shoots Ghost? Isn't Ghost supposed to be dead? Inquiring minds want to know. Didn't we see his funeral? Didn't we see them carry his casket? Didn't we see Tariq drunk talking to Ghost, blaming him for half of the things that he hasn't done? Haven't we seen this already? So the question is, why the hell does it say nominee Tariq shoots Ghost and not Tariq kills Ghost? I believe this is the nail in the coffin, man. No pun intended. Ghost got to be alive after this. This got to be strategic. At the halfway point, we have this Power Choice Awards. They're giving out all these awards. You got the funny table thing that I already mentioned that the Universe of Power spoke on that had something to do with the awards. But PT pointed this out. Why won't they just say, like, I'm trying to understand for the life of me, why they will not just say Tariq kills Ghost. If everyone's talking about him like he's already dead, the man has to be alive. Otherwise, why are they playing like this? And why did they strategically have these awards right before episode 10, way before episode 10 of the series? It seems like the Ghost Man is coming back, y'all. They playing with us. They want us to be had. They want us to be bamboozled. Like, I almost fully gave up on the fact of Ghost coming back. I almost fully gave up. But you know what? That little bit of spark, that little bit of belief that I had, now I'm back believing it. So now I'm jacking it. Episode 1 of season 4, there's somebody in black moving around in the background. Could that have been Ghost? Might have been Ghost or somebody watching him, all right? Now we talking about it now. That funny-ass letter when Tariq went to jail, that was supposed to be from Ghost, talking about, I knew you was going to get locked up, little nigga. This is where you belong. Now I'm convinced Ghost personally gave that to Daniel Warren and wrote it in his own handwriting. Now I'm convinced, man. Now I'm convinced. Now I'm believing everything. Now I'm jacking that Egan's CCTV footage was getting wired directly to Ghost, man. I can't deal with this no more. I'm tired of them playing, man. I'm ready to see the Ghost Man come and save Tariq from himself. Because Tariq is getting into a whirlwind of trouble and he can't even fight. Okay? All right? Braden wasn't there. Tariq been killed by Zion. Okay? Let's talk about it. Now I'm convinced Now I'm convinced that Ghost and Tariq's mother was there together when Tariq's mother, Tasha, shot Monet, man. Is Omari Hardwick gonna return as James Ghost St. Patrick in one way or another tonight? So, in the spirit of me being one of the people who expect and want Omari to come back alive as Ghost, I will explain to you guys the 3 most logical reasons why the Democratic Party helped Ghost fake his death, okay? Because we have to understand, they wouldn't help Ghost fake his death just because he's Ghost, just because they think he's some clever Negro or whatever, right? He has to come with serious benefits to the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party in particular, specifically, in order for them to agree to extend their resources to James St. Patrick in order to help him fake his death. There has to be very serious reasons that can, matter of fact, without further ado, let's just get to it. The very first reason why Ghost is alive and they helped Ghost fake his death, and they found it advantageous for them to keep Ghost out of prison and help him fake his death, right? For the black vote. Now, I'm a Negro as well, okay? However, I'm not disillusioned. However, unfortunately, a lot of black people, right, they rely on the Democratic Party, right? So this is based off of what we know about real life, which is most black people, if they're going to vote for anyone, it's going to be the Democratic Party in real life. Just like how you got to choose between the evils of Donald Trump, who I personally would prefer as a president. I'm just saying. I don't trust either of them. But I feel like I could trust Trump more than Kamala Harris and all of those people. But hey, that's just my opinion. Even though historically, right, they say black people were basically the biggest supporters of the Republican Party, right? Until, certain laws got passed and the KKK and things like that, a whole bunch of wham bam thank you ma'am pipe bomb things happen, right? Drama, things like that happen. And for now, majority of the black people's time in America, we have supported the Democratic Party, right? We have black people who they won't even think to ever vote for anything other than the Democratic Party. Like, it's that bad. And it's not just black people who do this. If you're Caucasian and you've been voting for the Democratic Party the whole time, chances are they're not trying to hear anything that's not Democratic as well, right? So they would know that being that James St. Patrick is from the hood, right? He grew up in the hood, and he's someone who understands the mindset or the views of someone from the hood who wants to live better and what they would want from their political party, right? Even if they're gonna use him to gain access and more popular black votes, and what I mean is he could behind the scenes help whoever they want to put in place for black people to vote for. He could behind the scenes help them create their political campaign and do their PR and things like that, right? And he will be indebted to them. Now, we could see a scenario in the spinoff if Ghost is alive where Ghost feels like, okay, I became untouchable. I could almost live how I want, but I don't like what the Democratic Party is doing with our people. Maybe they'll do that, maybe not. I mean, but for the black vote, they could use him. They could understand a mind like him, where he comes from. He would know what the people want. He would know what the people need to see in order to believe in whoever they want to put in our faces within the power universe, of course, right? So that's reason number one, why the Democratic Party helped Ghost fake his own death. Now, reason number two, why the Democratic Party helped Ghost fake his own death. to take down other criminals. Now, we know Ghost ain't a fan. We know Ghost ain't afraid to snitch on nobody, right? We all know and love him. He's a fucking rat. Let's keep it real. He's a ratatouille. He's a rat-a-tat-tat, okay? He ate the cheese multiple times. Now, as a presumed dead man, right? Does ratting even count anymore if he dead? But he also had a system and a long list of drug dealers who he knew, who he left alive, who he killed, drug dealers on lower levels, high levels, right? Whenever it's time to run a campaign, if Ghost already knew something about these people, he can help put the police force working for the Democratic Party, right? He can help point them in the direction to arrest these lower level criminals, right? And make it look good for the politicians that represent the Democratic Party, right? Someone who would be like a Rashad Tate, right? For all we know, they could really put out Power Book 5 or 6 influence, right? And Rashad Tate end up finding out that Ghost is alive. And he'd be like, yo, there's nothing you can do, nigga. Technically, you gotta do what I say. You work for me, dog, but they can use Ghost to help take down criminals behind the scenes, right? And then, to flip that on his head, the third reason why the Democratic Party helped Ghost fake his death, in order to have Ghost sell drugs under a whole new alias, in order to have him sell drugs, which will also connect him to other drug dealers who could be taken down in the past. And for all we know, right, this new moniker that he could have could be Mahoney or anything else, right? Because he would have a new alias. So he will be selling drugs. You gotta understand, y'all know what America is, okay? We had all this heroin, all this cocaine and crack coming to the inner cities, right? Niggas ain't got no poppy fields in the hood. Ain't no poppy fields in the projects. You know, maybe people start growing weed now in the hood in different places. They got labs and stuff like that. But in the 60s, 70s, 80s, come on now, y'all know what happened. Y'all know where the drugs came from. And y'all know the government had a role in getting it over here, okay? They brought it over here. People sold drugs. They made money. The government came. The feds came. They took the money. They used it to fund wars and pay their allies and help pay for more drugs and pay for weapons and things like that. We all know how this thing went, right? So when you think about it, someone as dangerous and resourceful and as smart as Ghost, they can say, all right, this is what we doing at the tippity top. At the tippity top, right? This is what we're doing. And like I said, this could be the reason why, if Ghost is really alive, we can see his inner conflict. And now he has a whole new thing that he wants to get himself out of, right? And then we can have Ghost go on this character arc where instead of faking his death, he may end up realizing the only real way to not deal with this no more now is for me to just die. And maybe he'll give up his life trying to save Yaz, or maybe he'll off himself, or maybe he'll give up his life this time trying to save Tariq, right? Which he hasn't directly did before.